Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a term you hear absolutely everywhere: data science. I mean, it's a huge buzzword, right? In tech, in business, it's all over the place.
But what does it actually mean, It sounds super complex, super important, but what do data scientists really do all day? Okay, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We'll start with a simple definition, then we'll get into the 3 key ingredients that make it work. After that, we'll look at the 4 different levels of insight you can get, the whole step-by-step process or life cycle, and finally we'll meet the team who makes it all happen.
All right, let's just get a solid definition on the table. At its core, data science is all about digging into messy, noisy data to pull out knowledge and insights. But, and this is the really important part, it's not just about finding cool facts. It's about turning those insights into meaningful action. That's the key.
So you might be thinking, okay, so it's just a bunch of computers and math, right? Well, yes and no. It's definitely more than that. The real magic happens when you bring 3 different worlds together.
So think of it like this. At the center, you've got data science. And what makes it up? Well, you've got computer science, that's for the programming and the tools. Then you've got mathematics, for all the statistics and the models. And the third piece, which is so important, is business expertise. You have to understand the context.
In fact, a lot of people will tell you that the single most important ingredient is that business expertise. I mean, think about it. If you don't understand the business, the industry, the actual problem you're trying to solve, how can you even ask the right questions? You can have the best coders and mathematicians on the planet, but if they're aimed at the wrong target, it's all for nothing.
All right, so we know what data science is made of. Now let's talk about what it actually does. What kinds of answers can it give us? Because it's a journey, really, from just looking at what happened to getting advice on what you should do next.
So yeah, what kinds of questions can data science really answer? It turns out there's a kind of ladder of insight. And as you climb higher, the questions you can answer become way more valuable, but also a lot more complex to figure out.
Okay, check this out. This is that ladder I was talking about. At the very bottom, you have descriptive analytics. This is just answering what's happening right now. Simple enough. One step up is diagnostic, which asks, okay, but why did that happen? Now we're getting somewhere. The next level up is predictive analytics. This is where we start looking into the future and asking, what's likely to happen next? And at the very top, the holy grail is prescriptive analytics. This doesn't just predict the future, it tells you, what do I need to do about it?
Let's make this super simple with a sales example. Descriptive is just, hey, did sales go up or down last month? You're just describing the past. Diagnostic is the next logical question, right? Why did sales go up or down? Was it a new marketing campaign? A competitor's sale? We're digging for the cause.
And now for the really cool stuff. Predictive analytics looks at all that past data and tries to forecast the future. What do we think sales will look like next quarter? But prescriptive is the game changer. It goes beyond just predicting and gives you a recipe for success. It answers what exactly do we need to do to hit our goal of improving sales by 10%? See the difference? It's huge.
Now, to get to those top 2 levels, predicting the future and prescribing actions, you're going to need more than just a basic spreadsheet. This is where the heavy-duty tools like machine learning come in. We're talking about algorithms that can sift through tons and tons of data to find patterns humans would never see, and then make those smart recommendations. Okay, so getting these amazing insights isn't just waving a magic wand. There's a process, a recipe to follow. It's a whole life cycle, really, a step-by-step journey from messy data to a clear action plan.
And here are the steps in that journey. Number 1, and this is so important, it starts with business understanding. What's the question? Then, step 2, you go data mining, finding and gathering the data you need. Step 3 is data cleaning. We'll talk more about that in a sec. It's a big one. After it's clean, you get to do the fun stuff in step 4, data exploration and analytics. And finally, step 5, you have to visualize those insights so that other people can actually understand what you found.
All right, I got to pause on step 3 for a second. Data cleaning. It sounds kind of boring, right? But I promise you, it's one of the most critical and time-consuming parts of the whole process. Real-world data is just messy. It's got missing information, duplicate entries, all sorts of errors. Data scientists will tell you they spent a huge chunk of their time just cleaning and preparing the data before they can even start the analysis.
And let's just circle back one more time to that very first step, because honestly, it's everything. It all starts with the right question. That business understanding piece is the foundation for the entire project. If you get that wrong, the whole thing falls apart.
So this whole life cycle, it's a big deal, and it is absolutely not a one-person show. As the saying goes, it takes a village, and in data science, it takes a whole team of different experts working together.
So, who's on this team? Who are the people actually doing all this work? Let's meet the key players.
Generally, you're looking at a core team of 3. You've got the business analyst. They're the one who really understands the business and helps define the problem. Then there's the data engineer, who's responsible for building the systems to collect and manage all the data. And finally, the data scientist, who dives into that data to find the patterns and build the predictive models.
And here's how those roles map back to that life cycle we just talked about. See, the business analyst is key at the beginning with the business understanding and at the end visualizing the insights. The data engineer does the heavy lifting in the middle, the mining, the cleaning, the exploring. And the data scientist is right there with them, doing exploration, but also getting into the really advanced analytics and machine learning.
Now, in the real world, these lines are often pretty blurry. There's a ton of overlap. You'll see data scientists doing engineering work and